Why not take bridal style advice from your favorite movies? Welcome to Ms. Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 memorable movie wedding dresses. Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we're looking at the most iconic, gorgeous, or at least unforgettable gowns to ever appear in our favorite films. Number 10. The Hunger Games: Catching Fire.
You would have been the most beautiful bride.
There's nothing more daunting than creating a movie costume for an iconic outfit from a book. Fans already have high expectations based on what they imagined, so getting every detail right is key. The final gown featured in Catching Fire was reminiscent of a creation by Alexander McQueen, but in fact was a collaboration between costume designer Trish Somerville and Indonesian designer Tex Saverio.
Katniss, you look fabulous, doesn't she?
The frothy feather design is the perfect dramatic piece for one of the pivotal moments in the Hunger Games story. It's so pretty that we don't want to watch it burn.
Oh my God!
Number 9. The Young Victoria. The costume designers for this film sure had a lot to live up to. Queen Victoria's wedding dress is possibly the most iconic bridal gown of all time. She's often cited as the one who started the modern tradition of brides wearing white on their big day, although she technically wasn't the first royal to be wed in white. For the film starring Emily Blunt, the designers were heavily inspired by the real-life dress, but didn't recreate it identically. They kept the look a little more fresh and palatable for modern audiences.
Now I am quite married.
Number 8. Marie Antoinette. Sofia Coppola's 2006 historical drama was every fashion lover's dream. The pastel-hued reverie taking place at the Palace of Versailles left viewers drooling over the beautifully elaborate gowns. The real Marie Antoinette was only 14 when she married into French royalty, and though the real gown no longer exists, historians have a good idea of what it would have looked like. Milena Canonero designed the movie version, which fit the description of being made with silver cloth with a hoop skirt and the bride highly adorned in ribbons and embellishments. Number 7. Coming to America. In terms of over-the-top wedding gowns, the 80s definitely did it best. While this movie gown didn't feature the giant puffed sleeves that the era is known for, it did have a puffed veil and an epic train. This rosy-hued outfit is especially memorable because of the pivotal role that the wedding scene plays in the film. Prince Akeem thinks that the woman he has been arranged to marry is walking down the aisle towards him, but when he lifts her veil, it's actually Lisa McDowell, his true love. Number 6. The Princess Bride.
Marriage is what brings us together today.
While this classic romantic comedy was made in the 80s, it was set in the Renaissance era, and Princess Buttercup's dress reflects the bridal fashion of the times. While this farcical film doesn't spend much time on historical detail, the dress is one thing that was intended to be accurate. Costume designer Phyllis Dalton created this empire waist dress with dramatic oversleeves. The material is a silvery blue tone and features corset lacing in front. The gown is so popular that some fans have tried to recreate it for their own nuptials.
Wesley, why won't you hold me?
Number 5. Bridesmaids.
Don't you dare laugh.
Maya Rudolph's character wears two hard-to-forget gowns in the 2011 movie Bridesmaids, and neither is remembered for how great it looked. The first dress is worn during what is debatably the film's most memorable and most disturbing scene. The girls get food poisoning while trying on dresses at a bridal boutique, and carnage and hilarity ensues. Let's just say that Lillian Donovan needs a new dress afterwards.
It happened. What are you doing? It happened.
Meanwhile, the dress that she ultimately wears for her wedding is absurdly ornate and was modeled after the elaborate final gowns that designers often send down the runways.
Now, by the powers vested in me by the state of Illinois, I pronounce you husband and wife. You may now kiss the bride.
Number 4. Pirates of the Caribbean: Dead Man's Chest.
You look beautiful.
I think it's bad luck for the groom to see the bride before the wedding.
Keira Knightley is known for wearing gorgeous corseted ball gowns in many of the period pieces she acts in, and the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise is no exception. Her character, Elizabeth Swann, has the opportunity to sport many beautiful dresses throughout the series, but by far the most incredible is her wedding dress in the second installment, Dead Man's Chest. Her wedding to Will Turner may have been rudely interrupted, but at least we got to see this gold-toned concoction before it ended up at the bottom of the sea.
That's annoying. My mistake. Arrest her.
But what charges?
No!
Number 3. Sex and the City. The creators behind the Sex and the City movie probably knew that no matter what dress they chose for Carrie's ultimately ill-fated wedding to Mr. Big, that it would be hotly contested amongst fans. They remedied this by having the famous fashionista try on multiple dresses for a Vogue bridal shoot, eventually setting on a show-stopping Vivienne Westwood creation for her big day. The high-fashion sculptural gown sadly didn't make it down the aisle, but in the end, we love the little white suit that Carrie wore for her casual brunch wedding at the end of the film. Number 2. Funny face.
All right. Now this is your wedding day. The happiest day of your life.
Today, Audrey Hepburn is an icon for old Hollywood fashion, and one of the roles that cemented her title was 1957's Funny Face. In the film, where Hepburn becomes a high-fashion model, she shows off many stunning outfits by Hubert de Givenchy, but the crowning glory is, of course, the wedding dress. While the design may look retro to our eyes, at the time it was actually strikingly modern. The tea-length ballerina-style gown may have only been used for a fashion shoot, and not an actual wedding, but that doesn't make it any less lovely.
A beautiful bride.
Yes, pity it isn't a wedding.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Number 1. The Sound of Music. Maria was not exactly known for being fashion-forward, but her wedding gown still makes it to the top spot on our list. The demure and elegant dress perfectly suited her character. Interestingly, because the producers of The Sound of Music had no idea how beloved their film would become, all of the costumes used during shooting were returned to a movie costume rental company. So Maria's famous wedding gown was actually worn for other productions in later years, and sadly was subject to alterations, as well as wear and tear. In 2013, however, the dress was put up for auction with the winning bid bringing in over $23,000.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from Ms. Mojo and subscribe for new videos every day.